to part 29 of our Clone Wars rewrite. We are currently rewriting the character of Ahsoka Tano, and in this video we'll be focusing on Season 3, Episode 21, Padawan Lost, where we have Ahsoka trying to find hope in a hopeless situation, and realizing more desperate measures may be required to get out alive. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the argument against Ahsoka. We actually had very little. We didn't even add anything in our video, and everything we missed, which is shocking. Because I know in my heart of hearts, we're gonna run across a bazillion things.
Oh, for sure.
So for this episode, we wrote, Ahsoka hangs behind the rest of the group for no reason other than to be captured, which is convenient for the plot. Ahsoka is painted by the writers to be superior to the other Padawans, even though they are the same age as her and have been in that situation much longer than she has. She immediately treats them as inferior, taking charge, telling them what to do, ignoring their knowledge gained from experience in favor of her own, etc. And the character who disagrees with Ahsoka is literally killed off.
You know, that actually makes me think, because there's a line from the TCW movie when she first meets Rex. They have like this little exchange where Rex is like, experience kind of outweighs rank. So even though she's ranked higher than him, he has more experience than her. And
how does she respond to that?
I can't remember how she responded, but like it's very clear that she did not take that lesson to heart. Like she
shocker
did with the bajillion other lessons that she should have learned but didn't.
So if you're a captain and I'm a Jedi, then technically I outrank you, right?
In my book, experience outranks everything.
Well, if experience outranks everything, I guess I better start getting some. What's that?
Actually, now that I think about it, that response is very fitting for her. Like, what? You're saying you outrank me? Well, then I better get some experience so that I can outrank you. I can outrank everyone, because I have to be on top.
Maybe it's just the voice acting. Maybe it's just the poor directing, but oh, well then I guess I better start getting some experience. What's that? It's like, okay, I guess we're just moving on now. Didn't really care all that much.
Nope.
We don't have a quote.
Oh no, we don't have a quote. She doesn't learn this in the arc either, by the way. Like literally at no point in this arc does she even remotely learn to be humble. She's like, nope, my way is the right way, your way is the wrong way, and she's apparently proven right. Mary Sue!
It's not experience, but we could edit it. Age is something that doesn't matter unless you are a cheese.
And drinks too.
Yeah,
like they age wine.
I was gonna say wine.
Yeah.
But otherwise, doesn't matter. Unless you are cheese or wine or some sort of fermented thing. Actually, no, I guess at some point with the do all fermented foods get better with age? I don't know. These are questions. Important questions.
To break into 3 groups to divide their defenses.
Okay, scouts, find me a way down there. Quiet-like.
Going through the front gate won't be easy.
You have it tougher going over that wall.
You taught me well. I can handle anything.
Don't get cocky.
You can see they're trying to do setup for this theme that they introduce with the quote there, but then they just go nowhere with it. It's just like completely left behind because they don't actually want Ahsoka to learn anything in this show.
It's not that they don't want her to, it's that they don't know how to do it without, like, they don't want to change her personality, but they want to be like, oh, look at how much she's grown. And it's like, okay, well, people change when they grow. So, like, you have to be okay with your characters changing. And there's definitely ways to keep personality while having a character grow. But because we're not doing a lot of like polished dialogue, which is where a lot of characterization shines, right? Like a lot of the time we're just kind of vibing out the scenes, saying what we would want to happen as opposed to like actually hammering out every detail of it. We're not really showing Ahsoka's personality so much, but like from stories I've read and stories I'm trying to write, you can keep a character's personality while having them grow.
You can keep the
Change.
core of it.
But yeah, I mean, like, because I talk about the core of a character in my development video, and it's like there's certain aspects that don't change. What I have written down here is that we were thinking of having Barriss in here rather than Plo Koon.
Yep.
So Barriss has been promoted to Jedi Knight, and she's in Plo Koon's place. Plo Koon is the one who's leading the strategizing. So then, would we just give everything from Plo Koon straight to Barriss, or do we want to have Anakin taking the lead, right? Because he's got seniority.
I can't remember if we already decided against having Anakin in this scene, like just having it be Barriss and Ahsoka in the beginning here and make like Anakin's part of a different team or something.
I mean, currently they're all one team, and then they're going to split up and each take a different team. That's what Plo Koon was saying here. We're going to divide into 3 groups. So he was going to lead one, Anakin leads one, and Ahsoka leads one.
Right. I wonder if, like, is Jedi rank and Republic military rank connected, or is it not connected?
I have no idea, and
It must not be connected. Yeah, who has seniority then? Because Anakin would be older in this version than Barriss, but he's still a Padawan.
No, he's a knight. He doesn't have his Padawan braid anymore. He's a knight.
Right.
They knighted him up much sooner than in the original canon.
Right. I think I was getting a little confused with that. Stupid retconned canon. Stupid. Okay, so they're both... Yeah, then Anakin would have seniority. So it probably makes sense for the lines to go to him.
And then...
Or maybe, maybe they kind of have a bit of a back and forth between Barriss, so, like, he gives part of it and then she gives part of it. Because I'm thinking of, like, having... Because this, again, though, depends on if military rank and Jedi rank is connected, because if Barriss graduated to Knight and then got promoted to General, so same rank as Anakin, I was thinking of having one of the clones say to her, like, yes, General, and then that could kind of prompt Ahsoka to congratulate her on her promotion and on her knighthood.
I mean, we don't have to work out the details of the dialogue. We can just say, Anakin gives the orders, the teams start to break up, have Barriss give a clone some instructions. Maybe she's the one who's like, okay, scouts, find me a way down there. And then, yes, General. And Ahsoka is standing nearby, and she's like, didn't get a chance to say yet, but congratulations on your promotion. But then again, do Jedi kind of treat it that way? That it's like this, oh, congratulations, you've been promoted, you're moving up in the world.
Maybe we could have it that it's kind of clear Ahsoka is just using the yes, General remark to say, yes, congratulations on your promotion, but also, like, on your knighthood. So she's kind of using that as a stepping stone to address Barriss's knighthood. And because I think in our version we had it that Barriss is only like a year or 2 older than Ahsoka, so she'd be among, like, probably the youngest knights, so that'd be like a big deal.
Like, how much time would we want to kind of dedicate to that?
Not long, I don't think.
So Ahsoka's like, oh, congratulations on your promotion and your knighthood. One of the youngest in the Order's history, and Barriss is like, it's a great responsibility and an honor. And then yeah, maybe Barris is kind of like, you know, good luck or may the force be with you, whatever. Do we want to have like, because we're doing this instead of having her talk to Anakin, I'm guessing.
Like, I don't mind her having like a quick exchange with Anakin, like good luck or whatever, but like we're not keeping the same useless setup for, oh, she's going to learn to be humble in this. No, she's already done that in our version.
Mm-hmm. She's going to learn to be cheese in our version based on our quote. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And maybe Anakin approaches her and he's like, hey, be careful. It's going to be tough going over that wall. Then she has her line, you know, my master taught me well. Don't worry. And so we cut the I can handle anything. Maybe he kind of makes like a cocky comment. Not in like in a bantery kind of way. Like, because I think that's what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be banter, but it's just Ahsoka being Ahsoka.
Nope. As always.
I sense something out there.
A droid.
I don't think so. Probably just an animal. Come on, we gotta get to that wall.
Stay alert, men. Let's move.
I think we mentioned in the reaction series how dumb it is that she's just like, never mind. Let's get going.
Also, like, I thought they couldn't sense droids. Or like they can in the it's so inconsistent.
I mean, like, Rex is the one. It is Rex, right? Yeah, he's the one who's like, oh, do you sense a droid, right? Like, but then yeah, instead of being like, I can't sense a droid, she's like, oh, I don't think it's a droid. But then again, it's this kind of like, how do their senses work? It's just kind of like, you have no control over when you do or don't sense things, or are you trying to like keep your senses aware right now? Because right now, you'd think you'd be able to tell an animal from something else. We could kind of keep it if we're like, you know, he's like, oh, what is it? She's like, I'm not sure. And then she's like, some kind of predator, right? Because she can sense the feelings. She can sense the
intent.
And yeah, emotions, intent, right?
Yeah, that'd
so
be good.
Then yeah, she knows it's something predatory, but yeah, they don't have time to kind of sit and search this thing out. So she just is like, you know, stay alert, you know, but we've got to keep moving, get to that wall. And then yeah, Rex is like, come on, man, let's move.
I love those plants. They're so funky.
I know, I was gonna say Felucia's so pretty.
I know.
Ready and waiting, Master Plo.
I find it interesting that Ahsoka's like the only person who's moving through the foliage like they're trying to hide.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really think of that.
I mean, keeping in mind that the foliage glows, so it's like you don't have the advantage of darkness
Yeah.
to sneak through. But it was
not
like Flo and his
really.
group were just like walking kind of in the open-ish. And then Anakin's group were just kind of standing right by the road there, like not really hiding either. Like Ahsoka's the only one who's like, okay, we're moving stealthily, sneaking. Like, yeah, it's just like, okay, did somebody else not get the memo to these other guys?
What? This is a stealth mission? What?
See, look, they're like, I guess they're sort of hidden. They fly now?
They fly now.
Cont it, sink or boost, get up there!
Roll clear, men. Come on up.
I'll be right there.
She has no reason to linger.
Nope.
How do we want to separate her? Because the thing, part of the thing is we can't have anybody else witness it, because otherwise they'd be like, well, she was taken by a Trandoshan. Just trying to think of how we can have something on the ground that she's protecting the troopers from as they climb, because it's kind of what's implied here is that she's like covering their flank as they they climb.
But the threat
even though
would be
she
from
was in-
inside the wall, wouldn't it?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, it
Yeah.
makes no sense for her to hang back like that. Especially
Except that,
after
well,
shrugging
we
off.
just had her say that she senses something. And even
Yeah,
though
senses
she
a predator,
acknowledged
and she
that, like,
didn't-
well, we
Oh.
can't just stop and wait for something to show up. We have to keep moving, just stay alert. So she's staying alert.
Yeah.
She's watching her guys' backs.
So what if they reach the wall, right? Like, they get the orders to move in, or while they're waiting for the order, like she says, "Oh, we're ready and waiting, master," or like, I guess it would be Barris, right? So, you know, we're ready and waiting, and then basically, like, she quickly looks back into the foliage behind them, and Rex is like, "What is it?" And she's like, "That predator's closing in." And then she's like, "Okay, comet, sinker, boost, you know, get up there," right? So everyone runs past her. You know, she pulls out her lightsaber. She's watching. She's not seeing anything. Rex gets to the top. "Oh, we're all clear, Commander. Come on up." And then have someone start firing at the clone who talked to her, right? So instead of him like, "Oh, I'm gonna sit and wait for you, make sure you reach the top too," like he's suddenly distracted. So as soon as he's like, "Okay, you can come up," then he, you know, turns his attention back. He's firing back, and she, like, you know, puts her lightsabers away. She goes to climb. She's like halfway up the wall, and then, you know, yeah, maybe she senses something, turns around, but the net is already flying at her.
Alternatively, we could actually have her, like, jump, but instead of the weapon being like a net, or it could stay a net, but it kind of stays connected to the blaster, so the Trandoshan, like, catches her mid-air and reels her back in. I think it would make the Trandoshan look more threatening too, because it would show, like, they're a dang good marksman.
Yeah.
The outpost is secure. Good job, Corporal.
That was easy.
Where's Commander Tano?
She was covering our flank when we scaled the wall.
Everybody fan out. I want a perimeter sweep now. Ahsoka, come in. Are you there? Can you hear me? Ahsoka, come in.
You won't be needing this.
Boy, it's too bad she doesn't have something that would allow her to pull that away from him.
Uh-huh.
I hate this show.
Yep.
Okay, you know, Anakin's like, "Wait, where's Ahsoka?" And I guess it's not Rex. I guess she wasn't with Rex. The corporal is like, "She was right behind us." And they look around and she's not right behind them. And then Anakin's like, "Okay, what's going on?" And then he tries his wrist comm, but we go to this scene, like, as his voice kind of like fades out. So it's like, you know, he keeps trying. But then when she kind of wakes up and looks around, the Trandoshan's already, like, crushed it in his hands. And he's just like, "Well, you won't need that, you know, transmitter anymore."
What is this place? Who are these pirates?
These are Trandoshans. They're going to release us and hunt us down for sport.
Us down?
Yeah, I still, like, oh, that line was just so horribly delivered.
How else would you deliver that line, though? Right? Like, it's a bad line.
True.
But yeah, the way she says it is like, it's more like, you know, my mom just told me that we're going to grandma's when I wanted to hang out with my friends. What an inconvenience. Do we want to have the other person who she asks, like, "Ooh, what is this place? Who are these pirates? And, oh, these are Trandoshans that are going to release us and hunt us down for sport." It's like, do we want them to have that answer?
Has she never encountered Trandoshans before? When they were, they confronted Aura Singh. Bosk was working with Aura Singh.
Oh, right.
Ahsoka literally, like, attacked him.
Did she?
Yeah, with her bike, she, like, shot at him and...
Oh, right, yeah. And I mean, like, I would expect her to know the different species.
Yeah.
Mind you, in season 2, episode 11, when they're trying to figure out who, like, she wasn't like, "Oh, he was, you know, insert species." She was like, I think he was, like, from one of the water worlds. And it's like, given how many different species exist.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't expect her to know all of them. Just, like, the more common ones. And I don't think Trandoshans are uncommon. They're probably more common than whatever the heck Aura Singh is. Like, Aura Singh is like a hybrid or something.
She could still ask, hey, what is this place? What's going on?
But yeah, it's like, how does that one guy just happen to know everything? Did the Trandoshans, like, tell him? But they didn't tell Ahsoka?
Do we want to have the Trandoshans tell her? Maybe instead of asking the guy next to her, like maybe, you know, because she wakes up, like the Trandoshan's crushing her wrist comm. Oh, you know, you won't be needing this anymore. She could be like, hey, what's going on? Like, who are you? And then he kind of like kicks her cage, tells her to settle down, then leans in, you know, I hope you can run fast, little Jedi. Makes it more fun. And then laughs and walks off.
And then he spontaneously combusts.
That's a weird ending.
It's subversive, you know. It's deep.
Yes, very deep. I'm just, you know, we literally had the other guy being like, oh, they're gonna release us and hunt us down for sport. Oh, hunt us down! We have found new prey for the hunt. The younglings will provide great sport. We literally have like how many lines in a row? Like 3, because it depends on how you count the lines. You know, they're gonna release us and hunt us down for sport, I guess, is 1 line, and then hunt us down is 2 lines, and then we have found new prey for the hunt. The youngling will provide great sport. You can either count that as another line or as 2 lines. Like, so it's like 3 or 4 lines that are just repeating the same thing. And it's like, okay, just 3 or 4 lines, right? But when you take into account how much time that is, that's like, we're at like 15, 20 seconds of just hearing the same thing over and over.
Oh my goodness, this show.
So if we have him vague to her, do we want to keep the scene where they spell it out with each other?
I guess that'd be fine.
So then, yeah, the audience knows what's coming, but Ahsoka doesn't.
Not entirely, anyway.
Play all comers.
Play all comers? What does that even mean?
I have no idea. I'm glad to see she was kind of meditating there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's good.
I would definitely keep that.
I was gonna say I find it interesting that basically everyone seemed to kind of land on their feet. I would kind of have her be the only one.
Yeah.
Maybe she grabs onto the cage so that she's like kind of staying in the ship, but then the Trandoshans are walking down the aisle there in the back, and they see that she's doing that, so then they zap her, and then she falls out.
Yo, did she just teleport? Cause like one second she was running or something, like she was right under the ship, and then all of a sudden she's next to this like plant thing and using it for cover.
I guess it makes sense, because like she ran off screen, and then we watched some other people, and then yeah, she's next to this plant thing. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. In the time where we were watching the other people, she was able to reach a little bit of cover. Do we want to have her try to save people right then and there, right? Like maybe force push somebody so that they get undercover, or she tries to, you know...
Maybe show her, going for that cover, and she gets there, and she sees the nearest person. She shouts for them, like kind of tries to wave them over, like, come on. Maybe she tries to force pull them over, but they get shot anyway.
Okay, because I think it would be good to just kind of like, yeah, show that even in the midst of that, right? Because she still doesn't really know what's going on. She just knows that they released them, and then suddenly they're shooting at them, and, you know, it would be a bit dark, but I'd have people shouting, and like, you know, maybe you hear a scream, and as like the first person gets shot, and then yeah, so she tries to help someone, but they get killed anyways, and she's looking around, she doesn't see anyone else, and so then yeah, she runs further back, gets into the woods, because like she's kind of used to this in a way, right? Like this is the battlefield.
Yeah.
So those skills, that mentality would kind of take over, and then yeah, it's once she kind of like gets here and she's like, what the heck just happened? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, maybe she recalls the guy's words, like, oh, maybe this is what he meant by, I hope you can run fast, kind of thing. Or like, I don't know, like, how you would make that clear, like, whether we'd have her kind of like talk out loud to herself or something.
You need to come with us.
Who are you?
We used to be Jedi younglings.
Boy, that's convenient. I never realized, like, she literally just like comes into the woods and they're all like, hey there, come with us. What?
I can't remember, like, do they say later that they were keeping an eye out for drop-offs or something? I feel like there is a line where they say that, so that kind of explains it. And if there isn't a line, then I would include one in there.
I would have it that, like, because she knows there's other people around, right? She knows other people escaped, so maybe she's kind of like going through the woods looking for one of the other survivors. Because yeah, it'd be smart to team up, not only for herself, but for them, right? Because she has skills that they wouldn't. And then yeah, the group there hops down and they're like, hey, if you want to survive, you need to come with us. And maybe she asks them, well, like, but there's others here. And they're like, come now or not at all. And so she agrees to come, but she's like, who are you? And well, we used to be Jedi younglings.
Alternatively to having them say that they keep an eye out for drop-offs, maybe we include a scene, like a very brief scene, where while Ahsoka is meditating, like just before they get dropped out of the cages, she senses something, and then we find out later that Khalifa sensed her presence and kind of reached out, and that's what brought them that's what helped them find her.
Okay. Either that, or you could have like a shot, like as the ship is pulling up over the beach there, show a shot of the three of them like kind of concealed in the foliage, and maybe Khalifa's like, oh, new arrivals. So show that they're there first and they're watching this happen, as opposed to them just conveniently appearing.
They popped out of the snow like daisies.
The other thing, like, I would maybe have it that when they kind of hop down, there's this brief kind of like Ahsoka kind of like turns on them, like ready for an attack, and they're like, whoa, we're friends.
Would we have Ahsoka like say anything? Because she should be able to recognize that they are force sensitive.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, whether that's something that's easy to sense or not.
And especially if we have it that Khalifa kind of reached out to her before. Or maybe she says to Khalifa, oh, it's you. I sensed you.
Right. I don't know if I would want Khalifa to reach out, but I think Ahsoka would still be able to sense her, like if she's meditating and trying to search out where they are, right? Like trying to.
If anything, maybe she's like trying to reach out to Anakin or Barriss to see if like they're still close by, and she senses Khalifa and the other younglings instead.
Because this would also be good because in Assassin, she kind of learns how to see the future, but then she never uses that again.
Oh yeah.
Right? But here would be a really good opportunity for her. Like, she has no idea what's going on. So, but she has this little hint, right? Like, so maybe she's trying to see the future to give her a heads up about what she can expect. And so then she sees the three of them maybe like creeping around close to the beach, and maybe she hears Khalifa's voice saying like, oh, new arrivals, right? Like so you have that scene that I suggested earlier, but instead of it actually being shown to us, it's being shown to Ahsoka. She's not quite seeing the future so much as like what's currently going on, but like she's using her ability to have visions like she learned to earlier in the season, right? So like we're bringing that ability back at a time where it makes sense to kind of use it. And then like you said, when she pops down, maybe Ahsoka kind of like wheels on them, but then she sees her and she's like, oh, it's you. And then they're like, yeah, we're friends. I don't think they'd say we're friends, but it would just kind of be like, yeah, if you want to live, come with us. And then she's like, who are you? And then, yeah, just have them confirm, like, we used to be Jedi younglings. Because it's also kind of like important to Khalifa's character, I think, right? Having her say, we used to be. Because, yeah, it kind of shows this, like, they've given up on ever returning to that life.
Don't hit the bird. Rude.
Shoo, bird. Shoo.
We never stood a chance. They attacked us on a training mission.
You were captured and brought here.
Why would they take younglings?
Because Jedi Knights are too powerful for them.
I'm Khalifa. This is O-Mer and Jinx. Who are you?
Ahsoka Tano. I was captured during the Battle of Felucia. I'm a Padawan learner. What's the situation
hate
here?
that so much. She could have just said, I'm Padawan Ahsoka Tano. But it's like the fact that she kind of like tacks it on at the end, like after a pause, like it just feels so like, I'm a Padawan learner, not just a youngling. It's the it's not just like the vocal delivery, it's the timing, it's the order of the sentence. It's like everything says something.
Yeah, sometimes even nothing says something. I don't know if I'd even have her bring it up at all, honestly. I'd just have her introduce herself as Ahsoka Tano. Like, rank really doesn't matter here.
I guess it kind of makes sense for them not to talk until they get back here to their kind of like safe zone. But it also just feels weird that he just randomly starts continuing the conversation they had, like, who knows how long ago when they first ran into each other, right? Because, like, reading it in the transcript, it kind of feels like a continuation. We used to be Jedi younglings. We never stood a chance. They attacked us on a training mission. Yeah, I guess it's kind of implied that they don't have to worry about attacks at night. So then, yeah, you could have it, maybe they're, like, gathering supplies as they go along and talking quietly still, but like...
We were taken by those foul lizards for their amusement, to be hunted.
Just in case you missed the last 3 times that we were told what was gonna happen here, let's reiterate that they are here to be hunted.
Wow. I never would have guessed.
Did you catch that? Like, it's important.
I don't know. I
really
think they should probably say it like one more time, just so I can get
They
it.
They might. I'm not gonna put it past them.
Because we made the first time a lot more vague, and the second time was for the audience rather than for Ahsoka. I don't have a problem with keeping that in.
I would, cause like, okay, so she says we used to be Jedi younglings, and then I'd have. Yeah, so they're going along, maybe they're like filling their arms with like fruit or something, and then Ahsoka asks, what happened to you? And then he responds, they attacked us on a training mission. We never stood a chance. We were captured and brought here. So then she asks, why would they take younglings? And then Jedi Knights are too powerful for them. Khalifa introduces herself, O-Mer and Jinx, and asks who she is. I think I would just have her like, introduce herself as Padawan Ahsoka Tano, right? So she's kind of saying, I'm a Jedi too.
I think they already know that.
Fair enough. Yeah, so okay, she just says, I'm Ahsoka Tano. I was captured during the Battle of Felucia. Or I would just have her say, I was captured on Felucia. Because, I mean, they had said in the opening narration that, like, the battling on Felucia has been going back and forth for ages.
The planet Felucia is caught in an unending battle between Republic and Separatist forces.
And so then she's saying the Battle of Felucia. It's like, there's been a lot of battles on Felucia. Can you be more specific?
True.
So I would just have her say, I was captured on Felucia. Or I was captured during a mission on Felucia. Because they explained we were attacked on a training mission. So then maybe she's just kind of doing the same thing, right? Like explaining what she was doing when she was captured. But then in our version, it makes sense for her to then ask, what's the situation here? In the original, the way she asks it is already like, okay, I'm taking charge. What's the situation here? So I would maybe change it to what's going on here. Why
Yeah.
did they take us?
General, we've been over the same area a dozen times. There's no sign of Commander Tano.
Not good enough, Rex. Try again.
We have alerted our forces throughout the Outer Rim and intelligence assets inside the Confederacy. If she's spotted, we shall know about it. Our mission here is finished. We must return to Coruscant.
I am not abandoning her. I will not leave her fate up to others.
It's time to go.
Call everybody in, Rex. We're leaving.
Yeah, I would.
So
If I
here's
was Rex, I would be so mad. Like you just told me it's not good enough, and I have to try again, and then you call me back. I would like punch Anakin in the face for that.
See, the thing here is that like because Plo Koon has authority. So then like I feel like we can't transfer that to Barriss.
Not all of it. I feel like we could mostly keep it the same. Before her, our mission here is done, like we need to return to Coruscant. I would have her like pause, like hesitate, and you can see she's conflicted too.
Do we want to have him be like, not good enough, Rex, try again?
I feel like it's in character for him. Like, yeah, he's being a prick to Rex, but he's understandably upset.
I would have it that instead of him just like standing there doing nothing, he's getting back from his own search.
Oh, yeah, I like that much better. That makes so much more sense now that I think about it. So, I wouldn't have him say that to Rex. I'd be like, I'd have him tell Barriss, like, I'm about to go out there again.
So yeah, maybe Rex is reporting to Barriss as Anakin approaches, and he's saying, General, we've been over the same area a dozen times, and there's no sign of Commander Tano. And Anakin's like, no, that, there's got to be something, I'll go search that area. And then I guess we'd have Barriss say, Anakin, we've alerted our forces throughout the Outer Rim, intelligence assets inside the Confederacy. If she's spotted, they'll let us know. And he's like, okay, good. And keeps walking. She's Skywalker. Her mission here is finished. We must return to Coruscant. Well, actually, yeah, maybe how about we have like her say, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go search, and then she's like, no, Skywalker, our mission here is finished. We must return to Coruscant. And then he's like, I'm not abandoning her. And then she says, like, we've alerted our forces, intelligence assets, if she's spotted, we will be contacted. And then he's like, no, I will not leave her fate up to others. And maybe she asks, like, what more can we do, right? Because she's not scolding him. She's just kind of like making him stop and think, like searching again. Like, already there is nothing here. Like at this point, we have to leave it in the hands of others. And so then he's visibly frustrated. But then he turns to Rex and he's like, call everybody in, we're leaving.
It's time to go.
What's happened?
The sun's almost up, which means we clear out.
Where do you go?
We keep moving and keep those disgusting hunters from picking up our scent.
That's your plan?
If you really are a Padawan, you would know there's wisdom and experience. We've been here longer. You will learn if you listen, and only if you listen.
Yeah, no, there is absolutely no lesson in humility here, because Khalifa's, she's killed. She's killed for daring to point out Ahsoka's very obvious flaws.
So yeah, Khalifa wakes her up. Does it make sense for Ahsoka to ask what's happened instead of like what's going on?
Yeah, I'd have her ask what's going on.
And then sun's almost up, which means we clear out where do you go, we keep moving and keep those disgusting hunters from picking up our scent. And then maybe have her ask, like, do you have a plan for escape? And then Khalifa just looks at her and then keeps going.
I do kind of like the idea of Khalifa just kind of giving her a look, and you can see in Ahsoka's face, like, she knows what it means and she's like, oh crap.
Yeah, kind of having Khalifa wordlessly say, there is no escape. Don't even get your hopes up.
It's the
pit we don't so yeah, we would completely cut out this, you'd know there's wisdom and experience. You learn if you listen. Like, none of that's necessary because Ahsoka already understands that. Because she's been growing.
Unlike in this show.
Right.
Yeah, it really makes, like, it's so much more hilarious to think about the fact that Lore Star claimed she learned humility back in the Weapons Factory episode, where nothing even remotely related to humility was broached. And here, where they were clearly trying to set up a lesson for humility, which they dropped about halfway through, or even sooner for that matter, and he just doesn't take that into account.
Nope. Basically, all the episodes he picked had to happen before season 3 because everyone's in agreement that by season 3, Ahsoka's much better.
Yeah, no.
Right? It's the first 2 seasons that
bend
matter, but
over backwards to make their ridiculous narrative work.
It's great.
Like, all their backs are broken by this point. They all have chronic back pain.
I have chronic back pain. What are you trying to say?
Why did it sound like there was a dying chicken in there?
Because there's a dying chicken in there. Duh.
Okay. Seriously, what the heck?
I'm not going to be able to unhear a dying chicken now. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Someone's coming.
Those 2 came in with me. We should help them.
No. It's too late.
Look at her run.
Why do all of their lines sound so weird? So this again is interesting because, like, she has that look of, like, horror and compassion for these people who just died, but then it immediately changes to anger at the villains. She's angry, she wants to get back at them, right? Like, that's her primary thing. Like, it's not primarily about compassion for victims. It's self-righteous anger, or, well, just righteous anger at the bad guys. Like, that's her personality.
Yeah.
Not kindness and sweetness, and it's anger and I'm gonna get them and
yep,
they will pay.
Because revenge is totally the Jedi way.
Absolutely.
She is what the Jedi should be.
Okay, so do we want to keep that basically the same? Other than, you know, her expression kind of remaining, like, horrified?
Because the next scene is where she stupidly decides to go pick a fight with the Trandoshans, and over here she just kind of sits back and lets the people die. I would much rather have her get involved here than be stupid afterward.
Yeah, because she does it because she's cocky, because she's like, well, if you're not gonna do something, you're just gonna run and hide, I'm gonna do something.
Like, I wouldn't have her, like, jump in there, but maybe, like, try something more subtle.
Okay, so I would have it, like, you know, Khalifa's like, get down, when someone's coming, and then they see the other people. I would have the other people not just, like, waltzing around like everything. Because that's literally the guy who told her what they're there for.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what's supposed to be happening, and he's all just like, I'ma just walk around, see the sights. So, yeah, I would have it that they are also sneaking, and then Ahsoka's like, oh, you know, those people came with me, we should go help them. Khalifa's like, no. Do we want to have her say it's too late? Because it's like, what do you mean it's too late?
I would have Ahsoka start to move toward them, and Khalifa, like, grabs her, pulls her back, and she's like, no, look. And then she points out the Trandoshans to Ahsoka.
Then, you know, Trandoshans start firing. Ahsoka's like, we gotta do something. Khalifa's like, no. And that maybe then she says it's too late, and Ahsoka's like, I have to do something. And so then Khalifa like quickly backs away from her and, you know, motions O-Mer and Jinx, and they kind of like disappear. And then, because there's 2 Trandoshans, and we don't really want to have her be able to like take out both of them. And then there's also like the other 2 people. She has to kind of fail at saving them, does she not?
Yeah, I would definitely have it that she fails, and then either she gets away from the Trandoshans herself, or Khalifa and the others have to bail her out.
Why would they bail her out though? Because I mean, here they bail her out because she guilt trips them. She shames them.
So stupid.
Now I love it. Oh, yeah, she has to learn humility, but she's the one who's in the right actually here, and it's the others who have to come up to where she is.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, it wouldn't make sense for them to bail her out. So yeah, she leads with a stealth approach. In the end, she ultimately fails to save the 2 people, and then she has to escape the Trandoshans. I would maybe have it that like she almost manages to save one, like the second one or something, and they get shot down right in front of her.
Okay, so how about the Trandoshans open fire? The first guy gets killed like right away, and then Ahsoka's like, I gotta do something. And so then she leaps away from the others, trying to stay hidden, and then trying to like get an angle on the Trandoshans to try and like, you know, force push their gun away or something. She manages to disrupt the one, but then that kind of alerts them to the fact that she's interfering. So then they start looking around, and then the other person's like getting away, and the Trandoshans are like wondering, like, should they just be like, oh, you know, don't let that one escape? And so then they turn their attention back to that person, like just as they're about to like get out of sight. Like maybe there's some, you know, a cave or something that they're running toward. They have to like cross an open space to get to it, and then they get shot down just as Ahsoka's kind of like, yeah, I helped them. So then she's like horrified and hurt, or like maybe the person is like sharing eye contact with her, and like she's watching, like she like tells the person, like motions the person to like, oh, go get hidden, like, you know, go now. And so then she kind of accidentally leads them to their doom, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe that like she's like, no, don't go yet, don't go. But then they go anyways. So like she's trying to help them, but still fails.
Either works.
And then so she never really came out of hiding, like, but the, you know, the Trandoshans obviously know she's around, so then she's gotta like sneak away, and they're kind of firing off random shots. And so then like some of them come a little close to her, but then she, you know, they finally kind of give up and go away. Then would we have Khalifa and the others approach her again, or would she have to kind of find them?
I would have Khalifa and the others approach her. Maybe have Khalifa say, like, did you enjoy playing hero? And then maybe Ahsoka's like, I thought I could help them. And Khalifa's like, no, we're not saviors here. Here we're survivors.
We could have stopped them.
No, Ahsoka. We're not saviors here. Here, we're survivors. If they had spotted us, we'd be dead now.
We'll never get out of here if we just keep hiding. We have to act.
There were other Padawans here that once thought as you do now.
Where are they?
They're dead.
It's not that we don't want to fight. We're younglings. They have every advantage.
My master would never forgive me for running and hiding in a situation like this.
Do not overestimate your abilities.
I'm not.
Are you hearing that background music?
Jinx.
Wow.
Yeah, no kidding. Where's that lesson in humility again? Oh yeah, it's non-existent.
This is a perfect example of how the creators just shoot themselves in the foot, because they're all like, oh, we're gonna have this lesson, but then they support her every step of the way in her arrogance.
Yep.
It's like
So
giving
dumb.
her a literal fanfare as she's just being super cocky, going completely against there's wisdom and experience. No, because Ahsoka is right. They are wrong. She doesn't need humility.
Nope.
She's doing the right thing. They have to realize that. It's completely backwards to this whole, the thing they're trying to do. Oh, she needs to learn humility.
Good job, guys. You're doing great. So yeah, I'd have Khalifa's, we're not saviors here, we're survivors. Like, if they'd spotted you, you'd be dead. And maybe, like, Ahsoka's almost on the verge of tears. She's like, there has to be, like, some way, something we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to include Jinx's, like, there were other Padawans who thought like you did? I wouldn't have Ahsoka be like, oh, what happened to them? I'd have her, like, right away be like, they're dead, aren't they?
I was going to suggest, because, like, if they spotted you, you'd be dead now. I like your suggestion of, there must be something we can do, some way to help or to escape. And then Jinx is like, there were other Padawans here that once thought as you do. So like he kind of emphasizes the past tense, and then like I don't think I'd have Ahsoka spell it out. I think I'd just have her like sit down as she's kind of like, ah, dang. And then maybe I'd have O-Mer's line like, it's not that we don't want to fight, but we're younglings. They have every advantage.
Here, lizard, and find me.
I don't know why, but I suddenly so badly wanted to have like a mirror scene of Grievous's introduction in the 2003 Clone Wars, but instead it's the Trandoshan like stomping on Ahsoka and crushing her legs.
Oh, if only. If only.
We have like so many amazing ideas. Like, we need an animator to just like stand by and take notes and then create all these wonderful things that our imagination conjures.
Oh yes, for free, because that skill
That's
doesn't
how that
come with
works.
any time and effort and skill. I wish I could do it. I wish I could. Like, props to people who animate. I'm not like.
I know.
There's someone in our Discord. What's the name of their channel again? Star Story or something like that? Or Master and Padawan? Yeah, he does these little like animations. We can link them in the description. They're good. I really like they're very simple, but like they're good. I like them.
There's a lot of depth there.
Like there's not a lot of detail to it. You don't need a lot of detail. Like, just with the simplicity of what he has, he still conveys like a lot of expression, a lot of like tone and emotion. Like, he really's got these like good beats, good tension, good, like, I don't know, he does a really good job. But I know like that's a lot of work. Like, even for how bare bones it is, it's so much work to get all the timing
before, like,
and
animators are among the most patient people alive. Like, I considered taking up, like, trying my hand at animation at one point, but, like, I do not even have the patience or the time to just sit down and draw something, so it was never gonna happen.
Now draw it again 3,000 times.
Slightly
All
different
slight-
from the last time you drew it.
Like, I love animatics. Every now and then my brain's like, oh, you should make an animatic. It would be so cool. It would only take 6 years of your life.
It's great. Anyway, we've got on a bit of a tangent here, so.
It's all your fault.
I had to speak a brilliant idea in my mind.
Your brilliance has been shared with the world. Thank you. We're moving on. Wow. Pathetic.
Khalifa! Don't kill him out of hatred. It's not the Jedi way.
Oh my goodness.
The thing is, like, not only do you have the self-sabotage with them playing the stupid fanfare when Ahsoka's acting like an arrogant prick, but, like, that moment, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be where she learns humility, because she's all like, oh yeah, I can do this, and then she immediately gets her rear end handed to her. But then it immediately turns into a lesson for Khalifa, not Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Ahsoka is the one, like, being the wise sage and imparting wisdom, when she was supposed to be the one learning in this moment. No, they immediately turn it into a lesson for Khalifa.
Yep.
It's like, wow, you didn't completely lose track there at all. Yeah, you really stayed on point there. Good job. Good job, guys. You're so good at this. No, you suck.
I was going to suggest maybe after, like, O-Mer is like, it's not that we don't want to fight, it's that we're just younglings, they have every advantage. And so then Ahsoka's kind of like sitting there just like at a loss. And then maybe she gets angry. Or maybe the Trandoshans who she escaped from earlier, suddenly, like, they hear them coming. And Khalifa's like, oh no, they picked up your scent or something like that. Or like they found us because of you. And so the three of them, like, run away, but yeah, like, Ahsoka is mad. And so then she hides to spring an ambush. And then, maybe she kind of like pulls one of the guys, like, out of their thing with the Force, and like he falls to the forest floor and doesn't move. And then the other guy, like, swings around and is shooting at her, and maybe she starts to force choke him.
Keep in mind, we do need to show more of Khalifa's darkness, or at least hints of Khalifa's darkness.
Fair.
I do like the idea of Ahsoka getting angry, though. Like, yeah, she's kind of sitting there chewing on this information, and then, yeah, like, you kind of see her expression slowly change. And she kind of raises her voice a little bit, like, we can't just wait around to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, nobody says anything, but, like, Khalifa's, like, looking her straight in the eyes, and maybe there's, like, something there that, like, you're not quite sure what is going through Khalifa's head right now. And then they hear the Trandoshans coming back, and Khalifa is like, oh crap, they picked up your scent, and yeah.
Okay, so what if... So they all hide. Ahsoka Force pulls one of them out of the thing. He falls to the ground, stops moving.
What if the guy doesn't die? He just gets knocked out and injured or something, and then he comes to later, and then Khalifa, like, force chokes him to death.
So Ahsoka pulls him out. He falls down. He's not moving. And then the other guy kind of, like, shoots around a bit, but he also thinks the other guy's dead. So then he starts to drive away. And then maybe Jinx is like, he'll alert the others, like, we can't let him get away. So then Ahsoka, Jinx, and O-Mer start, like, chasing after the thing, and then, like, Khalifa's going to follow them, but then she looks down and she sees the other Trandoshan moving, and so then she, like, hides quickly again. And then do we want to show it on screen or just hint at it, right? So, like, she hides again, and then we go back to Ahsoka and Jinx and O-Mer. The alarm does get sounded either way.
Yeah.
So maybe the guy does escape, like, he, shoots out into the open. They can't follow him anymore, and they're like, okay, crap, like, he's gonna bring everybody here. We've got to get back. Where's Khalifa? And then they run back. And then it's clear that, like, the Trandoshan's in a different position, like, in a different spot. And so then they can tell something happened, like, that he wasn't dead when they left. They're like, what happened? And she's just like, he's dead now. Ahsoka kind of wants an explanation, but, like, Jinx is maybe like, okay, we gotta go. Like, they're gonna be, all over this place in moments. Do we still want to have Ahsoka grab the weapon? I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
That she would attempt that option. Yeah, because the guy could have fallen with his rifle. He'd have it, like, close by him when they come back.
Why won't this thing work?
The Trandoshans deactivate the blasters if we take them. That is why none of us have any.
I mean, in this version, her getting all pissy about it, like, they tried to warn you. You haven't stopped to listen to them at all. But in our version, I think it works.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, this delightful scene.
It's been a long time since the Trandoshans captured another Padawan and brought them here.
Thanks.
I didn't mean it as an insult. I meant it as a sign. Your energy, your strength, it's what we've been lacking.
All right. We need a strategy.
What do you suggest?
What about a base? I mean, they must have a compound or something, right?
Not that we've ever seen.
Where do they come from?
Well, we don't know. We've only witnessed them hunting and in their hoverpods.
If we're going to go on the offensive, we'll need to find out where they live. We'll start covering ground tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Such a terrible, terrible scene.
The fact that Ahsoka just, like, immediately assumes Khalifa's dissing her for stating a fact. Again, like, so much ego. Where's the humility, guys?
Nowhere. It is nowhere to be found because it does not exist.
And it's like, I'm beginning to wonder, like, because the line is, without humility, courage is a dangerous game. Are they trying to say she's already humble? And that's why she can act courageous like this? Like, they can't be that stupid, can they?
I think we've established they can be quite stupid. It's great. It's lovely.
Or is it aimed at Khalifa? That Khalifa had to learn humility.
I was wondering that, but it doesn't really seem to fit.
But like,
oh, actually,
you know,
maybe
when
it does. I have
Ahsoka's
no
like,
idea.
no,
Who the heck knows what they're trying to say?
I don't even know, bro. But like, I'm beginning to think it's aimed at Khalifa. I think it is, cause like, she won't listen to Ahsoka, and then it's not until she humbles and starts listening to Ahsoka that things start turning around.
Oh my goodness. This show is garbage. Yay.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think the beginning of that scene is fine. Would we want to keep Khalifa's lead up there about how, like, it's been a while since they've captured a Padawan, brought them here? Obviously, I wouldn't have Ahsoka's stupid reaction.
I would maybe have Ahsoka be like, so? Right? Like, where are you going with this? And then, like, I don't want to have the whole, like, oh, Ahsoka, worship Ahsoka, you are the answer. Because that's just how that all comes off.
Absolutely, yeah. I would have, like, Khalifa isn't, like, smiley and, like, there's not, like, any passion in her voice. I would have it that she's very straight-faced in that scene. Mm-hmm. She's very serious. I'd have her say, like, I think you were right. We can't wait around to die. Maybe Jinx or O-Mer kind of push back and, like, well, we've tried this before, Khalifa, like, this isn't gonna end well.
Yeah, and then I think she would kind of need to push back again. I think the way we've been building it up, especially over season 3, how Ahsoka's been having these opportunities, taking these opportunities to practice her force skills and things like that. Like, maybe Khalifa's like, she's the strongest Padawan that has ever been brought here, yeah, right? We might have a chance this time.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to put more into that fight earlier, that like we show Ahsoka using more force powers, like, because as I have it, she just pulls the guy out and then they go chasing after the other one. So like maybe there's more to it. So she pulls the one guy from the thing. Maybe he like tries to like grab onto the side, so it's like she's really gotta like pull him to get him off.
What if like Ahsoka's pulling him so hard that the hover pod itself starts to move? And then that would really like drive it home, like she is strong in the Force.
And then the other guy kind of spots her and like tries to shoot at her, or like it's gonna shoot at one of the others, and then she like force crushes the gun, and so that's why the other Trandoshan's like, oh crap, I'm out of here, and you know, jumps on the controls and starts like trying to get out of there. And so then it would make sense to have Khalifa here being like, you know, she's the strongest Padawan we've met here. We might have a chance this time. And then, yeah, maybe they all just kind of look at her expectantly. And then she's like, we need a strategy. And then they have that conversation, but I would have it less like Ahsoka's like, okay, here's, you know, the plan. Like, what about this? Like, instead of her going into like military mode.
Yeah, like she's not taking charge. If anything, I would have it like it's a bit of interplay between her and Khalifa. Like, if any one of them is gonna be in charge, it's gonna be Khalifa. So I'd have a bit of interplay between her and Ahsoka. They're both kind of throwing ideas around, stuff like that.
Well, I like it that Ahsoka's asking questions. I just don't like how she's asking the questions. But yeah, so like she says we need strategy, and then maybe she asks Khalifa like, "What do you suggest?" rather than them asking her, "What do you suggest?" And then Khalifa's just kind of looks at her and kind of shrugs, like wordlessly kind of saying like, everything I've thought of, I've tried, and has failed, right? Like, what are you asking me for? So then Ahsoka's like, well, what about a base? They must have a compound or something, right? And then, yeah, not that we've ever seen. Well, then where do they come from? We don't know. We've only witnessed them hunting in their hover pods. And then Ahsoka, you know, if we're gonna go on the offensive, we need to find out where they live. And then Khalifa says, we'll start covering ground tomorrow. What was that?
I have no
He's
idea.
supposed to have been seeing that?
Yeah, like, are we supposed to believe those... I guess we are supposed to believe those two scenes are connected and she's not just coincidentally having a bad dream at the same time.
Yeah, those scenes were connected. I guess she felt it through the Force or something. I guess that's supposed to be foreshadowing. Because yeah, she looks at Khalifa and, oh, Khalifa's so happy and sleepy. And we all know what happens next. Going back to Assassin, a bunch of her visions came to her while she was resting, like the first ones. Maybe that kind of happens here again. Like, she was just kind of like seeing Aura Singh, and Aura Singh was just like, she will die. So if we had like, maybe Ahsoka's, yeah, like seeing that ritual, that chanting, and then she sees, you know, the Trandoshans, they've got their rifles and they're in their hover pods. And then she sees the group, and one of the Trandoshans' voices is like, one of them will die. And then that's what scares her awake.
Just had a thought. Because in the Mortis arc, we had her seeing that alternate, like, dark side version of herself.
Ew,
would we want to reuse that here?
Maybe it prompts some memory of the Mortis events, right? Because as it is right now, she doesn't remember anything. Ooh, what if in the scene where like she's seen that ritual, there's no focus on it per se, but her dark side self is in the background? Maybe in each kind of scene that she's seen, her dark side self is hiding in the background.
So she wouldn't be interacting it with it. It would more so be a kind of an Easter egg for the audience.
Yeah.
Okay. Would we have Khalifa be awake here? I think I would have Khalifa be awake. She's just kind of sitting awake, and she asks Ahsoka like, bad dream? And Ahsoka's like, yeah. And Khalifa's like, well, you need your sleep. And Ahsoka's like, well, don't you need your sleep?
Would we want to have Ahsoka just be like, oh yeah, bad dream? Because she kind of knows now that these are visions.
Oh yeah, good point. So yeah, have her say like, I think it was a vision.
To, and then I'd have Khalifa be like, what did you see? And I'd have Ahsoka be like, I can't say for certain.
Covered the beach area and most of the briar on this side of the bay.
If it was easy to find, you guys would have found it before I got here.
That is so condescending. That is so condescending. I hate it.
Someone slap her in her smug face.
True enough.
Maybe we should try.
And then yeah, they're just like, oh, yeah, you're right.
I hate it.
More inland.
It's worth a shot.
I think we're looking in the wrong place. That's their fortress.
On the one hand, maybe it's always cloudy, but you're really telling me they never noticed the floating fortress before?
Yeah, like they never looked up before.
They never heard it? What if we have it that they do know about the flying fortress?
But they just couldn't come up with a way to get up there?
A, they couldn't come up with a way to get there, and B, it's always on the move. And it's not a, like, schedule, kind of, like, you can't track its patterns. So they never know where it is. So then, yeah, when Ahsoka's like, oh, well, you know, what about a base? They must have a compound or something, right? And then Khalifa's like, yeah, they have a floating fortress, but we never know where it's gonna be. And then they're like, okay, well, we have to find the base. And then they're like, but how are we going to get up to it? And she's like, okay, well, you know, we'll see if we can track it, see, you know, like do some reconnaissance, make a plan. Like, you know, just let's gather more information, and then we'll move from there.
Make a plan. Stick to the plan. Always deliver.
Exactly. So then, yeah, we see them there. They've been, you know, searching. He's like, oh, we've checked this area and that area. And then instead of her condescending to them, then she's just like, okay, well, maybe we should try more inland. And then Khalifa's like, yeah, okay, worth a shot. And then Omer's like, guys, look, it's there, right? Like something a little more dramatic than a guy's look, it's there. But my brain is drawing a blank. Maybe have one of them comment, like, of course it had to be cloudy today. Or like when she's asking about it, they're like, you know, it's always cloudy here, so it's hard to spot. But Ahsoka's like, well, we gotta give it a shot anyways.
Khalifa!
The kill is yours. I will kill her with my own hands. Ah.
So, would we want to rearrange how everyone splits up? Like O-Mer goes with Ahsoka or something.
So,
and I'd keep the fight with the Trandoshan that Ahsoka has, but obviously she's not like physically trying to fight him. That is so stupid.
Because we just had her show off, like, oh, I'm strong enough in the Force that I can rip a Trandoshan off his speeder. I can crush a gun, but then suddenly here, like, why isn't she kind of using that level of strength? Mind you, she was angry before. Do we have her angry here or afraid?
Here, I think I'd lead into afraid, especially if the Trandoshan, like, manages to get a hold on her and, like, this giant hulking creature that could probably crush her.
Okay, so basically, because what happens is she crawls up above them and then she, like, jumps down and kicks him. Do we want to have it maybe instead that she jumps in front of O-Mer and does the whole, like, push the blaster away. O-Mer starts to escape. How did they get separated in the first? Because, like, as it is right now,
Khalifa stepped on like a branch or something and it broke.
Yeah, but like the way they have it here, Ahsoka had time to like catch her with the Force or something.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say too, like, do we want Khalifa or it's O-Mer here. So I guess, yeah, if we're killing him off anyway, it doesn't matter if he's severely injured. Because here, Khalifa can, like, barely walk.
But that means, like, O-Mer can't, like, run away and he can't fight for himself.
Yeah,
He's
so
badly
Ahsoka,
injured.
like, has to get in there.
So yeah, I would have it, like, he lands on it and it breaks. Like, it breaks as he lands on it, as opposed to him, like, landing on it and then crack and, oh no! And then Ahsoka's like, ah! And then they fall. And then, yeah, falls out that way, gets really badly hurt. the Trandoshan stalking them. Ahsoka jumps down in front just as the Trandoshan's about to shoot. Though maybe we just cut the line. Oh, I'm gonna do it with my own hands, right? Like, but then it's like, okay, well then why doesn't he just shoot from the hover bike?
Oh, because Khalifa kind of falls down into this sort of depression she has to climb out a little bit. So what if we have it that, like, O-Mer falls down, and because he's so hurt, he can't climb out himself, so Ahsoka has to momentarily kind of take her attention off the Trandoshan and force lift him out, and that gives the Trandoshan a chance to, like, grab her, and then she just goes into panic mode.
Oh yeah, he was just gonna shoot her. You were just gonna shoot her, then why were you like, I will kill her with my own hands, and, like, I have to jump down to do it? Yeah, because he's like, I will kill her with my own hands. And then he uses his gun from 2 feet away.
He's cheating. He's cheating.
So do we want to have him actually try to kill him with his own hands? Or do we want to he just jumps out because in order to get a shot, then, like, he's got to get down in there with her. Or him. O-Mer. Like, he can't sit in the hover bike and shoot because they'll just take cover.
Yeah, maybe have it that he tries to kill them with his bare hands.
He's closing in on O-Mer. Ahsoka jumps down in between them, force pushes the Trandoshan back, and then she's like trying. Maybe she has to lift O-Mer, like, using the force and to get him out, so then...
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
She can hear the Trandoshan coming for her, but she's like, I gotta finish getting O-Mer out of here first. So then, like, literally just as he's, like, able to, like, grab something on the edge, then the Trandoshan grabs her.
I feel like the reason they have it be, like, a hand-to-hand fight is to, like, drag it out. Because, yeah, like, if she does use the same level of force ability that we had her use earlier, then the fight would probably be over, like, immediately.
That's the problem with having her make such a show of force. But then again, we made it clear she was angry, right? She's kind of tapping into the dark side in that moment. Not, like, consciously, but she's definitely doing it. Because that's the whole thing, right? Like, the dark side gives you that power. So if we'd, like, really emphasized in the earlier fight that, like, she was angry. That guy's clinging to his thing, and you just zoom in on her face, and she's just, like, her face is like a glare, and she's just pulling harder, and
because I don't want it to look over here like her powers have been nerfed or something, because, like, even without the dark side, she's still pretty strong.
Because the other thing is we have them fighting starting in that hole in the ground, so they'd have to get out of it in order for him to then fall down on this spike thing. So yeah, maybe he gets on top of her, she pushes him off, he goes flying, and then maybe she jumps out of the hole, like, helps O-Mer get up the rest of the way, because, like, he just basically, like, I don't know, grabbed a vine or a root or something, like, on the edge, and he's been, like, trying to pull himself up, but, like, he's really hurt, right? So then she, like, physically grabs him, pulls him up, says just, like, go, 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 and then the Trandoshan, like, we don't have to necessarily, like, basically we can have it that the Trandoshan kind of went flying in a similar direction. Either which way, it's believable that he's suddenly there again.
Would we want him to maybe get a hit on Ahsoka? Like, maybe he scratches her or, like, dazes her, something like that.
Right. So he appears behind them as she's, like, got O-Mer running off. Because maybe it's, like, his upper body that's injured more. So, like, he's able to run, but, like, he wasn't able to climb. So then he takes off decently quickly, but then the Trandoshan kind of, like, appears behind her and swipes at her back, so then she gets this big claw mark across her back, and so that sends her, stumbling to the ground, and then she, like, frantically, like, spins and, force pushes him again. Like, he doesn't go very far because he lands up against some trees, and then she's trying to like climb away, but her back is sliced open, so she's in a lot of pain. And then he gets up, he grabs her foot. You have that moment where she's like desperately like trying to pull herself out. Maybe she like kicks his hand. Wonder, maybe she like grabs a spike, like rips a spike, like a thorn off of the tree, and like stabs his hand with that.
Oh.
And that's what gets him to let go. But then, of course, that also like makes him more angry. Basically, we want her in some sort of position where he lunges at her, kind of similar to this, and then she either dodges at the last second and he goes flying by, or else similar to this, she kind of like uses his weight against him, rolls, and manages to catch on the edge herself, but he goes flying and he lands on the impaling thorn there. Something like that.
Something like that.
We good?
I say we're good.
Okay, good.
Careful. Khalifa!
Those Jedi whelps killed my son. Young Dar! There's no escape! I'll hunt you down! Move us in closer! You can't. The brush is too thick.
Ahsoka, leave me. I won't. You have to. Please take care.
I'll take care of the others.
I'll kill you!
So I talked about this in my plot armor video, but the fact that the person right next to Ahsoka is the one who just so happens to get shot, and then Garnak stops shooting, which gives Ahsoka time to get herself and Khalifa to cover before he starts shooting again.
But then she also just kind of like walks away.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's still shooting.
And then the fact that he doesn't do what Dar did and just get out of the hover thing so that he can get a better angle.
Yeah, I would have it that like as soon as O-Mer gets shot, Ahsoka's like, O-Mer! And then like she immediately looks around and she like half tackles him to get them both to cover. And then maybe have Garnak immediately say like, hey, can we get in closer? And and then he climbs out, starts working his way toward them, and then O-Mer and Ahsoka have a bit of an exchange. O-Mer dies, and then Ahsoka sees Garnak getting closer, so she has to book it out of there.
Yeah, so she leaves Dar behind. She's not like limping, but like she's walking in a way that you can tell she's in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And then she finds O-Mer up ahead, and he's not just sitting there. He's like still on the move. And she's like, O-Mer! And he turns and he sees her and he's like, oh, Ahsoka, thank you. And then he gets shot. Oh. And then she, like you said, runs forward, tackles him out of the way, and then like they kind of end up in this like more covered spot. She's kind of looking around. She's like, O-Mer, and then she's like, we gotta go, O-Mer. And he's like, no, you have to go. And she's like, I won't leave you. And he's like, you have to. I don't think we'd have the whole, please take care of the others.
Yeah, because that was definitely like Khalifa kind of passing the torch to Ahsoka, but since O-Mer wasn't the one in Khalifa's position, like the more leadership position, like maybe have him say like, make sure the others, like, get them out of here. Like, help Khalifa get them out of here, something like that.
Promise me the others you'll get them out of here. And she's like, I promise. So like she's like fighting back tears as she promises.
Yeah.
And then he dies, and like, you've kind of got it intercut with Garnak and his whole, move us in, we can't. He's getting out, he's getting closer, looking for them, And then, yeah, so after O-Mer dies, she looks up. She kind of sees him, but he doesn't see her right away. And then she, takes off. Yeah, I would have it that he doesn't see her, but she goes as fast as she can and as stealthily as she can and gets out of there. And as Garnak is yelling behind her, like, I'll kill you, you killed my son, you can't hide, there's no escape, right? And so like she's just got tears like pouring down her face. She's like, trying to wipe her eyes so that she can see to keep going.
What is Ahsoka's strength?
She is fearless.
That can also be a weakness. Is she a worthy apprentice?
No one has her kind of determination.
Except you. If you have trained her well, she shall take care of herself and find a way back.
Maybe it was just me, but like asking what is Ahsoka's strength? Is she a worthy apprentice? Is that really like, if you trained her well, she'll take care of herself? Like, how do those two things connect? Right? Because when he answers like what her strength is, he's like, well, that can also be a weakness. And then, oh, well, no one has her kind of determination except you. It's like, how does that translate into, if you have trained her well, she'll take care of herself and find a way back?
I was thinking like maybe having like Plo Koon and Obi-Wan standing next to Anakin here at the holo table. Like maybe Obi-Wan like just kind of puts a hand on his shoulder and then the two of them walk away, and then Barriss walks in and she's kind of like, hey, we'll find her.
Well, I do like the, if you've trained her well, she'll take care of herself and find a way back to you. So maybe have Barriss say something like that, like not if you've trained her well, but saying you have trained her well. Maybe even kind of call back to their time together in Weapons Factory. And she's like, just like then, like Ahsoka will find a way to contact you. You can't give up hope. She'll put your training into practice and she'll find a way.
The thing is, the way this arc ends is like Ahsoka's like to Anakin. She's all like, oh, like it was your training that saw me through, when it wasn't. And here it's not really the case here either. Like in our version, we're not really having a focus on that. So I don't know if I'd have Barriss say that.
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to, like, that could just be like Barriss's belief, and it makes sense for Barriss to kind of like use that because that's been the past experience. Because like, yeah, what else is Barriss going to say? Like, because yeah, it doesn't make sense to be like, oh, we'll find her, right? Like, I think I kind of like that they go for this angle with it. It's like, yeah, maybe it's not in your power to find her, to rescue her, but like in a way you have set her up for success. And yeah, I wouldn't have this kind of like beating around the bush and weird like, let's ask questions so that Anakin can praise Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She's fearless. No one has her kind of determination or humility. Yeah, where's the humility? Like, there's literally nothing in here about humility.
There's a little bit of setup, which they completely self-sabotage and undermine and go back on.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay.
Anyway, so that was Season 3, Episode 21, Padawan Lost. We had Ahsoka trying to find hope in a hopeless situation and realizing more desperate measures may be required to get out alive. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, share with your friends, and consider subscribing so you don't miss future installments. As always, comment below letting us know what you think of our rewrites and what you would do differently. We'd appreciate any support you are willing and able to offer via Super Thanks or on Patreon, where we have plenty of exclusive content waiting for you. Next up, we'll be tackling Season 3, Episode 22, Wookiee Hunt, so be sure to join us for that. And then put it over there, and voila! Now we're ready to go.
Please hold.
I will not hold. You cannot make me hold.
I can make you do whatever I want.
Oh yeah.
I shouldn't have X'd out. I should have drawn.
What have
Okay,
you
now.
done?
Right. Oh, I've destroyed everything.
We're all gonna die.
In real life, I assure you, there is no such thing as algebra.
There you go. Words of wisdom.
Why is the transcript not showing up?
If it does not work, then beat it into submission.
I might. Yeah, we good?
Yeah. No, we're not good. We're terrible.
Welcome home!
Okairi. I think that's how you say welcome home in Japanese. Okairi.
Don't ask me. I am monolingual through and through.
Lame.
Yep. I admit
Baka.
it. I am very
Baka.
lame. Moving on.
If you don't remember what that
Because
one
this
means,
has
I'm
already
not
been
telling
like
you.
3 hours.
I
Not a
elect
bad-
O-Mer for death.
Heads is O-Mer and tails is Jinx for who dies in this episode here, okay? Heads, O-Mer dies.
I love how we just had to flip a coin for our creative process.
It wasn't a coin, it was an eraser that my husband had drawn a silly face on one side of.
There you go. We're being original. We flip erasers, not coins. Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? I can't hear anything. Send help. Hello? What just happened?
It's been over 3 hours. Normally, it does not take us this long. I don't know why it's taking us this long, other than all the interruptions and, like, literally my internet dying at one point. And, like, okay, maybe I know why it's taking so long. But it's really frustrating that it's taking so long. Ow! Ow! Oh, that was so painful.
You're not
Ow,
supposed
that
to
hurt.
yourself. Don't hurt
Oh,
yourself.
but I did.
Whoa.
Me.
Okay, we're done. We're finally freaking done.
Yeah, it's been basically 5 hours for me. I'm very much done.